grow and your spirit can soar? Welcome to Ark of Salvation Ministries International. At Ark of Salvation, we believe in a faith that's alive, a faith that lifts you up and carries you forward. Join us for powerful worship, inspiring messages, and a community that feels like family. From uplifting children's programs to dynamic youth and adult ministries, we have something for everyone. Experience teachings that ignite your heart and deepen your understanding of God's love. Ark of Salvation Ministries International, where hope is restored and faith finds a home. Service times: Sundays at 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. Call 024-770-1364. Ark of Salvation International. Your journey begins here.
Ma yenamase ima wachi ima wakwaba emra Tevah TV so Anopa yi na omankane mu nsama yabwabwa no na yesi egua yede som se Anopa na osia bremu Kasea ewo kasafari yi so yi na ensamre dos papa peye Anopa yi nia yabwabwa no na semufo asemudi amayen na yede bebe som Anopa yi Yebesko ako amampanyi John Dramani Mahama kache ena me no kasai oni Ghana akopie mo awo Abidjan na ode ensemba ko ne abiebi ena ede koye efa yen anyina mo kanea ene eka yede eho ensem dodo na eka we ho yede som se Anopa no nsia bremu Kasea na abusuafo Tevah TV ya bade amama Ghana ni wiase afa na nyina ene obi hweye efi Ghana obetumi aka kire na abusuani ono so wa manone ono so wo Cote d'Ivoire ono so wo ahia se omo ne homodenga na onhwe eye Tevah TV pepa cho phone so Facebook wo so a pepa cho wo sabetumi aka ye san so na YouTube wo so wo so ya wo sabetumi aka ye wo phone so se wo dial Tevah Media o search Tevah Media wonsa beka ye kama ewa kasafri so na afei so oko App Store, Google Play Store, Huawei Gallery ni nyinara wonsa beka ye ewo eye phone ni eso ni nyina se wa download anase wa search Tevah Media na wa download bi pacho behwe ye kroje ewo phone so na oba TV nani musu ya code bi da TV nani mu a one actually was scan to watch on your phone and one say baby you scan the phone no what about tare for a TV no oh pa on sakayen and no Tevah TV be an person will be searching my one answer one cassa wo ye say obo modern na say wo search wo TV no and answer wo decoder no will be dish no will be now searching on sakayen a but modern sa pine no dish na akwaya pine it say ha what the bodano so no bomade ya na obi endane no kakra ebetumi akire soro kakra na wapagye mu kakra me pacha o sabeka Tevah TV eba sa pa wi a no akoskan biom o sabeka Tevah TV na wahwe ye enipa ye wo ede magana fo ni wi asefa na nyina no wonso wetumi ehubi ahwe bi na fe so Ark Media Institute adawroma ena Anopa yi enkomo anase Anopa yi Kasea bo eba wakwan so ebe ne kodanim no ye de won achi kwan ene won ahama no so betuga na wahu bebia wowo na fei wa frempanifo Omampanyi John Dramani Mahama onioma Ghana mu na wakokopie mu ewo eye Abidjan me kire Cote d'Ivoire na Abidjan Cote d'Ivoire woko ni nyina ne se oni omanfo kwakoya adwena kabo mu atu adwene na oman Ghana yen anyina mkania ho nsam atumi agyina na so kire ben na kyese African CEO Summit ena omampanyi ekopi mu ewa Abidjan ede enhihia na se komo hihia so omanfo ho honom ene eye siwo adwuma mu panyifu ahoro na de hyiae ewa dwumedi no ase Omanpanyi John Dramani Mahama ekasa e na ochirechiri mu se yiga nyina mo kanea ho nsɛm abafam pa yesan so deka papa payi na ode to gwa hye eye omanfo ya one wonko hia bo na afesu ibi bo man kan na mo nyina ne se eye afepino ne aduonu anum 2025 anase empo early 2026 no obetumi ahwe na wode hyehye papa gu akwan mu na eka bi ya yede ewo anyinam kanea na se anyinam hode ho no watumi aye anasa ban na atumi atua na abeboa oman kana na wanga woje anyinam kanea fi hanom so kɔ no won so atumi abo papa payi enti ebere me no kasa yo man panyin John Dramani Mahama inioma mu a ni nyina ye African CEO Summit a ɛkɔ so ɛwɔ Abuja Cote d'Ivoire no ɛna ho na ɔde nani akyerɛ ma yekotie nhwɛ ebere okopi mu ho bra na ɔne penifo atwetwe enkomo anase erebo na amane no ma yekotie na yehwɛ ne nsɛm no.
We all know we're in transition to green energy, and so we passed the Renewable Energy Act, which stipulates that at least 10% of our energy mix, should come from renewable sources. I'm ashamed to say we are under 3% at the moment. I think 2.71% of our total power production is renewable, and it's mainly in the solar space. Solar, Ghana has a comparative advantage to produce solar because we have abundant sunlight. Indeed, if we could export sunlight, we would be one of the richest countries in the world. And so increasing our capacity in solar in terms of, bigger solar power generation, but not only there, but also household solar, mini-grid solar. I mean, there are many options that we could look at. And so refining it to get the optimum is what we are at the moment. We've given licenses to several companies to begin to set up, large-scale solar, 20 megawatts, 50 megawatts, and 100 megawatts, so that we can catch up with at least a 10% power from renewable sources. But I think that the time has come also for us to follow in the footsteps of some of the Scandinavian countries, including Germany, where people can invest in solar on their households and feed any excess into the national grid. We do not yet have the regulation to be able to do that. I have a farm where I've installed solar. I'm producing more solar than I need. The utility have given me a meter that allows me to feed the excess power in. So as a responsible citizen, I did so. And so I'm feeding all the excess solar power into the grid. But they say there's no policy to pay me for the solar. So it's become a charity.
Are you okay with that?
So I have a personal interest to make sure that we're able to be paid for the solar that we put into the grid.
Would you, you talk about legislation.
I declare my conflict of interest.
Okay, you would declare it? Thank you. Not everybody does that. I appreciate that. You talk about legislation. Is that something that you're actually thinking about longer term?
Yeah. Actually, the Ministry of, that's why we call the Ministry of Energy and Green Transition. Yeah, and so we've reset that ministry to have a broader view of energy other than what it was.
Abuja. Na watutwe komo na chese esero ne na mu ni ade nyina na chese kabuburo na odikopie mu ewo hono a osese na ohwese afepino ni aduonu asia 2026 no obetumi ahwe na wongetuetu ka ne bi na abo oman Ghana otua ne nsam so kire se mframaja gas yi bi enso ehohia oman Ghana pa se yenhyeda ne bi na ne yewo so akoye bibi wo ho enenti wo hwe na wode hyehye agu akwam bi sane se sabe se uyemu ye wo yaw na se wamfe wo sia obi ani ho bema waduru enenti omampanyi kwae no na awo se niema bi eto ape niema bi asabe enkoyi ewa anyinam nkane ya na anyinam ahoden no hunyina no awo se ode kotugwa na sabe obi behu ne mobo a watumi ehu oman Ghana mobo enti mframaje oka ho asam no no kire se sanframaje no so tumi bua ye papa payi ama yenga anyinam nkane ya ejire ne nan so eno so na nei akoye bibie wo hoyi ma yentie no na yenhwe ne okafa mframaja ane nsama osan so kato aso ma yentie na yenhwe mra
which would handle more gas coming out of our first field, that's Jubilee. The Jubilee partners, Talo and Cosmos, are able to put more gas on stream. And so we need a second gas train to handle that because our current plant in the Trouble cannot handle the extra gas. And then E&I are back and they are drilling again. And the early signals are that we might find considerable quantities of oil and gas. And when that happens, we're using our gas entirely to produce power. And so we have a gas to power policy. Currently, in our thermal generation, I think about 70 to 80% is gas fired. But then we have another 20% for which we use light crude oil and HFO and diesels and things. And so we want over the next few years to eliminate the use of liquid fuels and use entirely gas so that we can bring down the cost factor in our power production.
Do you think that is within the 5-year pipeline? How far out would you say that?
Well, I think if we put in the second gas train and E&I turns the taps, we get more gas. Nigeria has also promised to increase our gas supply through the West African gas pipeline. So I think over the next 3 to 4 years, we should be able to eliminate crude oil completely.
Was that something that you came back into office thinking that was important to reset the economy? I wonder how high up on the list of priorities was
the
that?
energy sector has been number one in terms of priority on my, to be divine about it, my second coming. And so
it's been a good second coming, I'd say.
Well, Jesus is coming too, so.
That's true.
And so on my second coming, we met
John Dramani Mahama
energy sector.
Na ochirechire nsemo ewo Abidjan, Cote d'Ivoire, wo African CEO Forum, chese annual summit na chese brano san komoyi anase sajumedi wodi ewo mpatem ho anase wodi ewo Abidjan etoda bi so na akɔwie wo baabi foforo etoda bi na akɔwie eno na Abidjan ekopi mu ho no mo a ode enkomo o my Ghana enyinam kane ahosem na afen so say yibegina na so kirebe no ode ehonsam de akono dom ketua na ewo mna hyebegwafi eye NPP amunyoku no na anai wode asem bia bebeto monten so e wo kire se attorney general omo ne homode no ma ne homre so isane se na anu nsem bia yewura anase ye papa A+ ebe kan edify attorney general eye Dr. Ayini hono Dominic Ayini hono omo ne homode a nanka eye attorney general Dr. Dominic Ayini anka o meyi ne ho ano anase onfa A+ enko asendibia na wonkodi asem no ni nyina ne se wo kira A+ be kan se Dr. Ayini chese adamudi bi kata se hyebi proye bi ibon ewo ne ho na wakoje sika eye 500,000 Ghana cedis na chese sika botinga enye fedi egodi kura eno ena dom keto na ewo mra hyebegwa fi kire se etisa pa dia na chese adamudi bi akoso ewo attorney general na akache enenti Dr. Ayini anka obesusu se onfa A+ enko gina court sa asem no enimu dia na se ewo mu pa se wagya demode dia ene de wohia sa nkontabu no wohia sa nsem na A+ be ka ho asem no wohia ho nkyerkyeremu se ne be ya wo betumi ehu se ampa asem esi ya na so bentin gye adamode no na kwan ba so do gye na afei mra no ene eye attorney general yewura Dr. Dominic Ayini etumi edipa enenti dom keto na ewo mra hyebegwa mu asore kire se wohia nkyerkyeremu efa sa nsem a A+ be kan edifa sika anasa demode a yewura Dominic Ayini ekoje no ho na nsem we nyinara no eye nana opening a oye national organizer edema MPPM yoku no yewura nana bwache na ogina simpi so kansa asem we nyina wo bra MPP penefo ehia ma yehwe kwan ya ofa so ne senia o kan nsem no ankasa
ono na ye lawyer ni pani ejina ho magana ban ono na ye lawyer ni pani kese pa ejina ho magana na se lawyer ni pani kese ya ka cho se wo kwa kwa sika 500,000 ademudie e de baba be ma appointment committee parliament send e be ya we go through parliament and you see kono ko sen wuti fakko court house de court ya de obeko atinte hube ne tua wo tunti a muntimi rent reja then tina muntimi ko because dia wo de plus ko ba wo so be kana se enti wo se de wo ko na so no odi nkofo bi ko court sa ade akwa egu a ni bowi se wo ye konfo wo no keta ase hye ne proye dware wo kwa ko sika de abrem na hye be defo no wo so no odi nkofo bi pese wo de nkoko ta wo so na wo se wo charge omo for corruption but one so yeti you see ato yewra mahama se one me anya san hwehwe mu ye bi an sisi a to ni gena anamwa obi adwum ni se ya to ni gena o dware atete mu ya to ni gena ba ekofo ya to ni gena akwaja de die ya to ni gena ene kono de bia bon sibiti ay kono sa no ko san se adwunya edi hu no enti o si etimi sign iti o si etimi sign iti mi hu bi da sa to na no o be kaya yewra go feda mo ho ana NDC fokofa table bi o mo akatekate no mo de sisi eni eno mo si yewra go feda me ene japa edi nkomo eno komo friend criminal and say you see and some of kind of bia o ne bia se de o wo yo fon sa mo ahwe won sa no fon was to say nipa oni nipa sa say it wo yo fon sa mo ahwe won sa because answer na no mo kan ya mo si go feda me edidi na tem sansa mo si oni obi akokasa ene ya to ne genu ade ono no yeso ye konfo yeso ye wi yeso kwa kwa ja dem 500,000 Ghana cedis e dey break appointment committee in parliament mutini yo ono on fa ni pan kokko no ko sign it o se dey court dey have your call no on ko se na da je o me won speak the court now tie e ho na odidie e ho na oda afo esi akwa dey office utu na no do high court o so won ti fa ni pan kokko na o concentrate on you wa ni pa na bu mu fi wa ka se betia the ka se so o se a plus ni be kire yen ade a oni mu fa NSS ono na e ba be kire yen atoni to no na tumi nyen kura o Ghana ndana no tumi kura so na wo de obedi en so man yo yen na yen konko bu sa a plus now where from this pension for any as a media trial na ya the media for ba na kan sem a eni atoni general mo kwase mu ni ogun mu fi ogun mu fi Tony John and Kasasa, only more to media or constitution and Yadiasa. A seven swap, the Jackson so.
We NPP Amajokuno, Dom Anopa for Yura, Harry, Nana Boache, Dodo Nabody Dinsi, Nana B, and Yatin car, say, or the and Semi Igua Quam Wabra, NPP Amajokuno Bo, Chibo, Tradako Shia. Na wadwundwe sansam na aye attorney general na say A plus e kan defa attorney general ho na yete no yete aso na yanko yenganim kane openi suafo ya ohwe nkre opumpuni mantem so aye regional minister adema aye kane anase kane suafo adema nkra opumpuni mantem no aye ni late afote agbo ena neyi odin sama beto moten sua o kire se wenya nente pa se Ghana ha omanfo kasa onam na otete Ghana ha omanfo kasa efa eye yewura anase same jemfi nsensem a okoche sika na akoye bribi oho ewo Ghana ha eno ana yewura afote agbo ekire se same jemfi na wanye lucky ni ti na enyi sa sika ye okoche yi wotwa de ba abonten chese edia asema koba na ochira insensema Ghana focus John Dramani Mahama omampanyi ba anaso omampanyi momodin ya non saki yewura samije mfini ade no ni laye afote agbo kire se ono de one so manfo na nyadwen ɔmampanyin kyɛ sɛ bɛma ne ntie obi akɔ sɛ de wɔfrɛfrɛ no wɔtwerɛ nkrata akɔ anka ɔmmɔ ne nanse tuo ɔma ne nkɔtena fie kakra owura yi kyerɛ sɛ mɛma ɔmampanyin tie obiaa na ɛnyɛ wei ɛna ho hia ɛne wei ne yɛhia na mmom sɛ ɛyɛ ade a sɛ ne ti ni bua no anasɛ ɔyɛ lucky a saa nsɛm nyinaa ohu anasɛ yɛre hu wɔ man Ghana mu ɔkyerɛ a wei de ɛnhyɛ da nhia bia saa Ghana fo kana sɛ dabi mɛma ɔmampanyin tie obiaa ma yɛkɔtie yɛwura ni laye afote agbo kane suafo a na ɔwɔ nkran opumpuni mantamu ma yɛntie no na yɛmmra yɛnhwɛ no okay abusua yɛnkɔbɔ video no yɛnkɔbɔ ne video no na yɛmmra
audio
okay ma yɛntie no ba hwɛ video to deɛ yɛntie no sɛ ne nsɛm ɔkae no yɛnkɔhwɛ sɛ yɛnsa betumi aka ɛyɛ audio ni baako a na yɛabɔ ɛde akyerɛ Ghana ne wiase afa na nyinaa ma yɛntie ɛno ne yɛmmra.
We should not rush in coming out with blames and all that. Maybe Sami has something to say, or would have some defense to put to bear, because people do things that are even more than what Sami did or what we saw in the video. But if it had not come to light, and when you look at the action was done out of sympathy or out of love. But the gesture that we saw, for someone to have been done mischief, to turn on the camera, to take pictures of the gesture, is it a good gesture or a bad gesture? Then you know what it is. Do we even know whether the money given to Agrada is $1 bills or $5 bills or $10 bills or $20 bills? We can't tell. We are all aware of the value of Sami Gyamfi, and this is a test that we have to go through. And if there are people who hate Sami because of his hard work and the attacks on them, or maybe the attacks that he comes out with for things to be done right, so committing the smallest or the slightest mistake, we will be calling for his head. That one, I don't think it is that necessary. So we should also look at it carefully and then know what step to take. We must engage him, ask Sami Gyamfi of the action and why he did what he did and the source of even the money. Then we would understand what he did. Though there is some mistake or that people would read into the action, but what I'm saying is that the benefit and the use, the value of the person must be taken into consideration than maybe the mistake done. This is what I want to tell Ghanaians, and for everybody to be calm, because I don't see any mischief in his action. He wasn't rather snatching anybody's money from him. This is someone who is occupying a bigger position, that someone by way of maybe appreciating his hard work, because whatever contributions that they gave.
Wei aye kanesuafo na owo nknan opumpuni mantamo yewura ni afote laye agbo ena yete ne nka se odin nsam yi abesom yeman Ghana na okire se Ghana fo to yambo asepa na ebia yewura Sami Gyamfi won nsem bi ono so onya obeka na yenhwe kwan ye ofa asompo edi yi sika yi edi ma Agrada enyi se ye bibi keke se bia bibi keke kurampo de ya fine ba we de ya chede ena ode ma ye mame Agrada eniti oman no ento ne boase winning summer already eso ede abatu emonting eso ma menkawo na menkamfo Arc Media Institute enfama na Arc Media Institute suku a abepiem wo man Ghana mu a ede obefa ntete mu efa nsentwura dwuma wopese wo ye no ho se media school yi wapebi ache anase opepapa na wako bebi e wobebo mepacho enye bebi e domgu na sabe wonko dan nim mepacho Arc Media Institute de wose wo ba kase nia obeye no wankasa na wani beje ho isane se wobet jebri ankasa se ye de je wo atetewo na wabeye pabene e wo Ghana ene bi ase afa na nyina ebusuya ompe wei na opedan Arc Media Institute at the 6 months in the baby about South training. Now we are 3 months no so what to me at the aye 1 or 2 we be attachment we now now for ha near small now what you say now just said the bear we to me who you in this one kasa for 3 months. Millionaire aye Arc Media Institute. We patch out what and in sin o Tafo Junction sanso and now what Kasea. Eno no unu Kasea pe West Mall me pacho ho na wo West Mall eso ho pe na wo fre ho Red Top ho na Arc Media Institute school no ba kon so ewo me pacho wo modin ye na hwehwe Arc Media Institute wachi kwan na wo so bra na fa wo ba no bra onua na bra na besua de na o mesua de Arc Media Institute ewo ho a me pacho school fees no da fam na wo fi achi na se wo ba o ha eni ho kura esane se baby a wodi uti beto penifo aye sa hye nyina to hodada enti baby a wodi uti beto o ha okra ni ho advert ni twa na etwagu e wo TV no so me patwa ya na wafa namba no na wafrɛ won kama na watumi aboa isa de say Arc Media Institute say nia ewo honam ni mu no me patwa woboa ama na ba honam nani adoma kyede no epie ni nyina Arc Media Institute adaroma Yentu ya Kasea no so koye nim dia na Deputy Trade Minister Yura Samson ahi na ode sababeto mo te so kire se dom keto ano nam oman Ghana mu anase wone nam no wakeka na nsem a wakeka no utum se enhyeda ntwa yi kra yesane se oman Ghana ha amamra wa ha nhyehyɛ papa so wo Ghana ha eboa no oman Ghana etumi anya ne ntamapa afira o kire se amamre mu no oman panyin enni ho a na bedi achi vice president na ewoso di ade na ohwe na bidi ya so tumi eyiye sanso na vice president nso ni ho a speaker of parliament na wose ono ejina na o acted se omampanyin no kwaresem ni o kire se dom keto no nam ho na wo keka se omampanyin ni ho vice president ni ho na speaker of parliament ni ho na hina na wose acting no kasa bebre na ekoso ewo dom keto no afa na no na Yewura Samson ahi ya babeto montezo se omampanyin ni ho na bedi achi ni ho na speaker of parliament ni ho a onipa ewo se ohwe na oye acting na sempo ohwe achi chief justice o chese chief justice ono oye Yewura Paul Bafo Boni ono na emra ma ho kwan se ohwe achi na nsem wei menkasa ma mekasa nya tenten no ma yenkotie deputy trade minister Samson ahi ono akro yi asanso ye member of parliament edema bodi eno ewo sehwe ma yenkotie na yehwe ne nsem no wobra ore kasa nsem no na se ode nsem yi atugwa kyerɛkyerɛ nsem mu kyerɛkyerɛ mremu ede ama Ghana kyerɛ se nia dom keto no ka no sabi ona won anya adwen omampani ni ho a we wo ho ofoforo wo ho na obi ani ho nipa bi yesane ni ho a na fi chief justice ono ote akugwa so a woga swai no anase we swai ono na oye acting yenkwe.
I think it's unfortunate that the minority will accept that. Now the constitution has specified that in the absence of the president, the vice president assumes leadership of the country. In the absence of the vice president, the speaker is sworn in by the Chief Justice to assume leadership in the country. Equally, in the absence of the Speaker, the mantle falls on the Chief Justice. Do we have Chief Justice in this country or not? Yes, we have His Lordship Justice Bafo Bone as the acting Chief Justice. So it is believed that Justice Bafo Bone has assumed the mantle of leadership in the absence of these three personalities that I have mentioned. So Bafo Bone is in firm control of affairs in our country. So there is no leadership crisis. There is nothing like that. The minorities should tell us that if the Chief Justice is taking over, who should swear in the Chief Justice? They are saying that they recognize the fact that the Chief Justice is in the country, fine, but he has not been sworn in. They should tell us, or you ask them, the body who should sworn in the Chief Justice. They should tell us, because the Constitution is silent on it. Because clearly the Constitution has stated categorically that is the Chief Justice who swears in the President, the Vice President, and the Speaker of Parliament. But who swears in the Chief Justice? It's the President who swears in the Chief Justice before he assumes office, isn't it? Now, when the President is not in the country and the Chief Justice is assuming leadership role, what does the Constitution say? Who has the Constitution mandated to swear in the Chief Justice?
Is there an automatic stamping of the?
It's automatic. It's automatic. It's automatic. It's assumed that the Chief Justice in the country takes over and, manage the country in the absence of these three people. They're just being petty because, like I've said, you ask them who should swear in the Chief Justice. Just ask them this simple question and let them quote.
Yo, we aye Yura Samson ahi ono or your deputy trade minister or sanso your suafua or ohwe na oye n'adwuma ewo bodi na awusua yete nka se ono so ebo ye nchiremu na afi ode ye kọ eye emra ni mu se omampani ni ho a nia odi na echi ewo se ohwe na wa accept so omampani na vice president zuzu ni ho a na ewo se ovufuro etena konwa mu ana se etena se na wa accept se vice president ono so ni ho a na speaker aba speaker so sabe wetie ne nangachi a na afi chief justice abeye na adwuma te se eye omampani eno ena o chirechirinsemu na o chese saa de we ya MPP amanyuku no eka no enti ena ono so aba wabeyi na anu anase wabechirechirinsemu de akire oman Ghana no abusua ma yenko wie nsem no kra ewo eye Ablekuma North mensi krotuo ne mo municipal ewo Ablekuma North endi sem yoku no enra enye fadi agudi kra wakoto aba na abato no na eye party members and simple assembly members wogbo homode koto aba no ewo Ablekuma North no na woto aba de eye MC de ama abato mpesua no anase honum na ono so atumi akodi ade na wokyira nipa 11 ena waka yes na chese wogina tum na nipa 10 ena waka no na mamremu no wokyira ekire biribi pa eno nti wokyira se ade nti ena no kwaye 10 ena yes no ekoye eye 11 enam so ama assembly members bi a wokoto abai kyire se wonga to yemu wonga close down office no wonga tum wose wo ma yempie ma o ma yempie nkwa abonti ade nti assembly members no yakoto aba no na yase no yese so nipa na wode na eba no yempe no enti wose ade nti na yeto no bebre sa ma yakoti enra ni assembly members wo binum a wo Ablekuma North no wode eto eye incentrafo enim obra na wo kyerɛ sɛ wonga to wo mu yakoti video yehwɛ kakra we na yembra sisia.
Ghana first. Patrol assembly members, any PM, you are locked up. You are locked up, and they shed them. Some of BMP, Academy, some better, what? Yes, Ramon Ghana first. Patrol assembly members, any PM, you are locked up. You are locked up, and they shed them.
Ghana first.
Some of BMP, Academy, some better, what? Yes, Ramon
Ghana first.
Patrol assembly members, any PM, you are locked up. You are locked up, and they shed them.
Ghana first.
Some of BMP, Academy, some better, what? Yes, Ramon
Ghana first.
Assembly members,
Yo, wait, and then someone, of course, or a ablikuma north or bra. Assembly members, koto aba na fi watch us say baby walk up to fire na se kwan auto or offer so to aba no enti watch us say wonga kidnap you or the wonga shedem wa wose won ma won pi adenti na assembly members no koto aba no ese no na waye ne sa ewie ebusua ha na yebegina na Kasea yede esomo wo Tevah TV yede bai ni nyina no yede ni nyina esi the amount na doso na nia edi mu akotre di hwe di tie no emu na yede ho nsam no ebrɛ o mampanyi akopi mu ewo Abidjan anase Côte d'Ivoire yo Abidjan Côte d'Ivoire ana no kwaresem ni nyina ayese o man Ghana yenga nyina mkane abetumi agira nanso na ayeye ede amayenti enunti na ode saama ne boyi ede kopie mu ewo ayadwumedia wokudi anase woridi ewo hono ensem bebre na kawe ho na busua ide som se Anopa no nsia bremu Kasea ewo Tevah television so medical catch us Tevah TV no sabe kaye ewo YouTube na Facebook movie ahorowa yeyi news ayeye programs ayeye interviews ayeye tese ni nyina wo sabe kaye ewo YouTube na afi so Facebook ewo phone ni so obetumi anyaye kama entu kita phone na tese wo hweye ewo so sara enso na App Store tese Huawei eni ne okeka ho bibiri na obe search Tevah media na won sakaye o pese wo scan so ya wo scan na sa won sanka wo decoder ibi scan na sa won sanka me pa chawo bomode na pagya eye wo pai ne mu kakra ya pagya mu kakra na sane be ya obetumi anyenti ugunya pagya mu a na wasan so abe scan biom wo sa be kan eye Tevah TV na wahwe ye nipa bibiri ya ye de som Ghana mani wi aseman no na watumi ahwe bi eye TV nanim so na wapesa wo scan ya wo phone no baby wo scan no na de atale ho kama wo de tale TV nanim a ebe scan to watch on your phone na wa scan ahwe de kama wo phone no so na dwumadi ahoro a ye de ba ene comment ahoro course ahoro e wo se wo so betumi e de won komo na afi so wa manebo e de abesom ye sanse o man kana ye nyina ye ba ko abusua Kasea no ye de nyina asi Media Institute adawroma ena wo bo me ho ka Kasea yi ba wakwan so wo se wo pese wo ye nsantwoni e wo man kana mu a memfa wani nkyere ba bia se Media Institute wagadawromo ena enei bibedi pa anopai na ye sori kongwa so yi ye sori na yakwaba na yasanso e de anopa nkomo yasanso de abahyehyɛ so nkomo no wo ka ho bi enti ye nyina ye mom na yendi anopa nkomo ewo Tevah television so wafrem of akofi asidu akua pemode hye media de wa man bebere so anopai me ne ka akire otu brempon ena eba wakwan so eba ya ye de Kasea yi ebrel sanso ena wo ma produce ye from afar onyame hira won na onyam kese pa ma yenkomra bye bye.
Looking for a place where your faith can grow and your spirit can soar? Welcome to Ark of Salvation Ministries International. At Ark of Salvation, we believe in a faith that's alive, a faith that lifts you up and carries you forward. Join us for powerful worship, inspiring messages, and a community that feels like family. From uplifting children's programs to dynamic youth and adult ministries, we have something for everyone. Experience teachings that ignite your heart and deepen your understanding of God's love. Ark of Salvation Ministries International, where hope is restored and faith finds a home. Service times: Sundays at 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. Call 024-770-1364. Ark of Salvation International. Your journey begins here. Looking for a place where your faith can grow and your spirit can soar? Welcome to Ark of Salvation Ministries International. At Ark of Salvation, we believe in a faith that's alive, a faith that lifts you up and carries you forward. Join us for powerful worship, inspiring messages, and a community that feels like family. From uplifting children's programs to dynamic youth and adult ministries, we have something for everyone. Experience teachings that ignite your heart and deepen your understanding of God's love. Ark of Salvation Ministries International,